Hello, hello everybody, and welcome to Crafty Hour 38. It's Courtney here with Scrapbooking Memories. So I hope you guys got your homework done. We are going to definitely do these two cards together. These three were just kind of quickie ones that I put together. So when I was flipping through my pad, what I did is I felt like there was themes. Like when I punched everything out, I felt it was overwhelming and there was a lot of stuff. So I punched everything out, cut everything out, and I put them in groupings and put them in themes. So I put all the sports together, all the drinking together, all the camping, fishing, hunting together, the garden together, the motorcycles and cars together. So I felt like there were different bundles and different themes to kind of work with these. So that's how I kind of recommend approaching this set. It is a fabulous masculine set. It has a little bit of everything in it. And now I know it's so much that I can't focus. Oh, Amy, what? Marlene commented on our live today. Okay, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to go watch it now. So dang it. You had to tell me. So I got to go watch that now. So yes, we got the new Marlene markers in. Hopefully it was all good things that she said. So anyways, we will definitely get these done. So I kind of have some fun techniques on these. We're going to be playing with that embossing folder and we're going to make it kind of like a brick red. Then we're going to be stamping a background, kind of random stamping. And then these three guys, I thought were just quickies. So when I was looking at the paper, it's like each one had its own little scene. And I'm like, these little scenes just need to go together and make its own little quickie card or a quick little thing that you can put with a gift or give. So that's kind of where I went with those too. So let me move all this stuff out of the way and we're going to start with the technique card. So the technique card is going to be the embossing folder. And I know I'm hitting the ground running, but I think I was a little over ambitious. And I want to make sure we don't run out of time. So the first thing you're going to need to grab is that heavy cardstock or whatever white cardstock that you have. Can be white, and then an assortment of red ink pads. I'm using Distress. Use whatever you have in your stash. There is no right or wrong. Well, it does have to be dye-based. I'll say that. It does have to be a dye-based ink. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my barn door, I'm going to grab some fired brick, and I'm going to grab candy apples. So I've got 3 reds, kind of like a light, medium, and dark on those. So there's my 3 ink pads, and then you're going to need a mister, some water or something. Grab that. White cardstock, and what we're going to do is we're going to make an inky background. Inky background. Inky binky. I can't talk. Inky binky. Inky background. And while you guys are grabbing that, I'm just going to grab my heat tool out and kind of plug it in. That way I can get the heat going. Nine-minute mark. We got to have that. Okay, so I got to go back. I'll tell Ken to watch. Ken will go watch it. We've also been stalking, I got to clean this off, make sure it's clean first. Also been stalking Lawn Fawn's Instagram page to see if the marketing material that we sent them for Cocoa Bean for the brick and mortar stamp set has been posted yet. Miss Cocoa Bean was their top hit last year, so they wanted more Cocoa Bean material. So we gave them a lot. What they use, I don't know, but we gave them a lot of material. Okay, so I'm going to take my 3 inks, make sure I'm on the screen here, and I'm just going to kind of 1, 2, 3, I'm just kind of mushing it. I am mushing my inks randomly on my mat, and I have no rhyme or reason. They can touch, they cannot touch. I'm just putting a lot of different colors of red down. These are dye-based inks, so they are water reactive. You'll see as I add the water to them, it beads up. And we're just going to press and flip. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry in between layers. Because if we just mush, 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 it's not going to give us a cool effect that we want. And we're just going to dry and build layers. I know, who wouldn't want more cocoa bean footage? She is a doll. I also gave him a hint, hint, wink, wink, since she's so popular. Could there possibly be a cocoa bean inspiration stamp set coming out? So tell him that. When you see Coco, say, ooh, she'd be cute on a stamp set. Let's see if we can get our own fan-based stamp set for Coco. Wouldn't that be cute? Okay, so I'm just adding red. I'm just keep adding and adding and adding until I get this whole thing covered. I'm just kind of drying it a little bit so my piece of paper is not too wet. And I'm going to lay some more ink down because it looks like I sucked up everything I want. And you can use, I'm just using a piece of white cardstock. It could be heavy cardstock. It could be watercolor paper. Be whatever you have in your stash. It's just going to be a layer. Oh, yes, she would need a yellow ducky to go with her stamp set. Absolutely. She loves that little yellow ducky. Okay, I'm going to add some more water. This time not as much water, so maybe I get more color. And we're just going to mush and press. Ooh, I like that. Think that. Aww. To tell Marlene thank you. She even gave us a heart. Hello, everybody. Happy Crafty Hour Thursday. Crafty Hour Thursday. Hello, everybody. And you know me, I love techniques. So I thought I saw this embossing folder. I'm going to work it in and make it look like brick, because I felt like brick could not just be white. I felt like it needed something to it. And then if you feel like you're lacking color, you can always take your ink pad. Oop, I ripped it because it was wet. And you can always dab on there too, but we're just going to keep adding ink on those. It is very dry here today. So I have a feeling that's why it's absorbing my ink faster than I want it to. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting some rich color. Ooh, look at that. So just kind of press your ink in. It probably, your hands will look like a murder scene. I went with red because bricks have to be red. And it's just a variety of 3 colors of red ink. 3 colors of red ink, and just keep layering it until you get it the way you want. Once you have it the way you want, we're just going to kind of dry it. Okay, there we go. I'm loving what we got now. We got the speckles going. So it is not perfect because bricks are not perfect. Okay, I am happy with that. And we're just going to dry it a little bit. We don't want it dry 100%. Because we're going to run it through the embossing folder. And when your paper's wet, it embosses really nice. Uh-oh, we've got a spammer. I don't think Deanna is on, so hold on 1 second. And let me... I got it. Get rid of that spammer. The first time we've had a spammer in a while. Okay, so we're just kind of heating it with the heat tool, trying to make sure it's majority of the way dry. It's okay if it's a little wet because we are going to run it through that embossing folder. So the embossing folder was part of your kit. That did come in the Crafty Hour kit, and I just thought it was very lovely. It was very, very nice. Okay, there we go. So once we have it kind of semi-dry, we're done with the heat tool. We don't need it anymore. You're going to grab your die cutting machine. You're going to grab your embossing folder. And we're going to put the red, uh-oh. Do I want red up? Nope, I want red. That's going to press down. Uh-oh, I forgot what side. So last time I embossed it first and then redded it. Okay, I think I want it that way. Down. Oh, okay, I can't remember what side I put the embossing folder in. So I got to do a scrap piece of paper really quick. Sorry, guys. That's what scrap paper's for. I want to make sure I emboss the right side. And I got to figure out the correct, there we go. Okay, so let's pull out our scrap piece of paper. Okay, that's the side I want up. So I did have it right. So I have it purple. I have red side up with the purple closing on top. That's the correct side. Red side up with the purple. Perfect. Okay, so this is what we end up with. We've got that brick, which is very, very nice on there. Now we gotta kind of get it more worn looking. So we want it to be browned a little bit. So I just grabbed out Gathered Twigs. Gathered Twigs is my favorite brown. I know some people love walnut, some people love vintage photo. I'm gonna dry this a little bit more. It's still a little wet. But whatever brown you want. I feel like vintage photo has a red tone to it. Walnut stain is really dark. And I feel like Gathered Twig is just my happy medium. Yes, Hope, we are browning. Brown the brown. Love, love, love this brown. Oops, still got red on my mat. Now, what is cool about this folder is you could use this side, you can use that side. So you can use the emboss side, or you can use the deboss side. There is no right or wrong. And I'm just making sure this is 100% dry, because when I go to ink it, if it's wet, it's going to rip the paper, because I used a kind of thin piece of paper on that. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of randomly ink it in areas, and this is going to make that brick stuff kind of pop. I feel like my ink pad, Gathered Twigs, is a little dry. So let me grab my little guy. Okay, there we go. My big one was a little dry. And I'm not going to do the whole thing brown. I'm just kind of doing it in areas that I kind of want to darken it and pop it. I don't want the whole thing brown. I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of color. And of course, I like to always do the outside edge, but we need to trim it first. So first, I had you keep the piece of paper that full size. because when you chop down and when you emboss it, the paper shrinks. So I had you do your black Miri that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And what we're going to do is just go down, and what I did is I find too that it's not very squared when I went to put it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to square off my cardstock. Because again, when you're embossing it, it kind of shrinks it down. So we're at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4 is, I'm going to go right in between. So I'm going to do 4 1/8. So 4 1/8. So in between the 4 1/4. And then 5 1/2. I'm going to do again in between. So this will be 5 3/8, which looks like I already took too much off. But there is our sizing. And now I'm going to brown the outside edges. I just like to have the outside edges with that defined color. To me, it stops the eye. It stops you from wandering. And this is also what you can do, putting the gold cardstock on, the foils underneath it. That kind of gives you a back or two that stops the eye. Okay, let me get the brown off my mat so I don't get something else on it. Make sure I get all the ink cleaned up so I don't get it on the back of my pretty white cardstock. So I had you cut a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/2 by 5 1/2. That is going to be your card base, 4 1/2 by 5 1/2. And then we're just going to score it in half. I love to use my scoring tool for this because I'm not good at folding it perfectly. So we're going to score and fold in half. So there's our card base. It is just a standard A2. I had you cut a piece of black Miri that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And what I did is I gutted it. I cut my other pieces out of the center of it because you're only going to see a frame of it all the way around because it's going to go perfectly around your white. So why waste all that good cardstock? So I just took my nesting dies and I gutted my Miri cardstock because I wanted to use it somewhere else. So yours can or cannot have a hole in the center. It's whatever you want to do. Another reason I love nesting dies. They work as a tool. They work as so many different layers. So we're going to put that black Miri down. And this black Miri is the Hunky Dory Miri. So if you get the packs of the assorted ones that Deanna and I both sold and love, that is what this guy is out of. He is out of that assorted Hunky Dory Miri. We also have just the packs of black. Okay, so there is that piece. Then we're going to put down our brick. So our brick goes down next. I think my brick is short on one side, but you know what? We're going to call it. And we're going to glue the brick down next. I'm just using the Helmar 450. I like the Helmar 450 when I'm using Miris, when I'm using glitters, when I'm using textured papers, because it finds that it grips it really good, but it also gives me that wiggle room. Sometimes you just need a little bit of wiggle to make sure everything is lined up and everything is where you want it before it does its final grab. I'm just making sure everybody glues down flat. And another thing I like about this glue is if you squirt it out like I did, on that mirror paper, if you just run your finger over it, it comes right out. Comes right out. Okay, so there is our background. We've got that really cool brick. We've got some inky backgrounds on there. We got some inking techniques. And yeah, there's our background, guys. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to look for is I also had you grab 2 more Miris, a 3 3/4 by 3 1/4, and then also a 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. So these 2 Miris, they were homework that was on your list. Then in your paper pack, I need you to grab this. We are going to fuzzy cut out this guy and this guy. I know Deanna didn't like those edging, and she just whacked them off and squared it up. But I kind of liked the shape of it because it reminds me of the inverted corner punch that we love so much. And I thought that was kind of cute like that. So you're just going to take your scissors. I just cut right up to that red line, and we're just going to fuzzy cut that guy out really quick. If you don't get it perfect, don't worry, because we're going to add brown ink to it anyways, and brown ink hides everything. Uh-oh, what does it say? Carrot sour? Oh, autocorrect. Carrots on the mind, huh? Our silly bunny. Yeah, brown fixes everything. You got a fingerprint? Add some brown to it. If you cut it crooked, add some brown to it. Needs to be vintage? You got it. Add some brown to it. Brown fixes everything. Okay, there's our car. And then we're going to cut out the other one. So this is going to be perfect for a Father's Day card. And then also this collection will be good for masculine birthdays. So my dad has a birthday also coming up in June. Hits us with Father's Day and his birthday in the same month. Kind of like the poor kids that have their birthdays in December. So I will have 2 cards ready to go. Okay, there we go. Oh, thank you, Deanna. Or is that Ken? We did have a spammer. He hit me and I thought I got him off, but I wasn't 100% sure. So now I'm just taking the brown ink and I'm just inking around the outside edge of it just to give it a little bit more of a color and feathered look and kind of hide all that stuff. Oh, it's D. Hello, D. Okay, so there's that guy. We're going to do the same thing to this one. You're not old, you're a classic. Yep, the spammers were hitting us hard. I think he hit us 3 times. We hadn't seen him in a while. I thought they gave up. They did not. They waited us out. Okay, so the mirror pieces that we did, we're just going to glue these flat to those mirror pieces. Okay, so there we're going to put that down. We're just gluing that piece flat, just like that. And then the You're Not Old, You're a Classic, same thing. We're just going to mat that down also. Whoop, oh, it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not. I'll just turn it around. It's all good. Okay, so here are our pieces. Here's our card front. We got the inky background with our reds and our brown. We use that brick embossing folder. So now we're going to fasten these guys down, and we're just going to use some foam squares. And in my stash, I found these They're from Tonic. They're black ones, black foam, and they worked perfect. So we're going to pop the big piece, and we're going to pop those smaller one too. Okay, perfect. Make sure we're right side up. And I knew doing a technique would take us a little bit longer. So the last 3 cards I have will probably be kind of your inspiration cards for extras. But they were really pretty big, wham bam, thank you ma'am, easy ones to throw together, because I felt like the paper and all the little embellies that came with it did all the work for us. Okay, so I'm just going to come down a little bit and over. And then this guy is going to overlap here, just like that, on the bottom of our car. So I'm just going to put foam here and then liquid on top. So foam at the bottom of the sentiment. Okay, bottom of the sentiment, liquid at the top. Pull that guy out. He's so much faster. So much faster with that guy than my other stuff. Okay. You know what? If you peel the backing off your foam tape, it sticks a lot better. Oh, it's been a day. It's been a day. It's been a year. It's been a month. It's been a week. Okay. I bet it sticks better this time now. Ah, look at that. Now it sticks. Okay, then we're looking for our car. Our car is going to be in the punch outs. It's going to be in the punch outs. And you can use whatever car you want. I like the red one because it just kind of covers up the other red car kind of perfect. And I felt like it needed a little bit of 3D. It needed to be popped up a little bit. And of course, I'm going to brown around the outside of it because it is just too in-your-face bright. Okay, so we're just going to brown it a little bit. Brown around the outside edges. And we're going to pop that car right in the center, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to add some little gold. I felt like it just needed some gold bling. I did the itty bitty ones here, the little bit bigger ones there. And I just use my wet glue. I'm going to put a dot and drop a gem. So I did the itty bitty ones on the outer edge. I felt like that cute little indentation just needed a little gem right there. Oop, I lost my gem. And then the next one, I did a little bit bigger gem. So I did the next size up. The gems I'm using are the gold ones from Pink Fresh. They come in that cute little zip bag. So they're easy to put in and out. And it has, I think, 4 different sizes in here. So I love those. The peel and stick ones from Spellbinders are also fabulous. And there we go. Thank you, Sandy. It's classy card. So there we go. There is card number 1. I knew it'd take a little bit longer with the technique, but I really wanted to show you guys something to do with that embossing folder and kind of give you that brick look to it. In your kit, like I said, I was grabbing my piles. When I went through my kit and I separated it, I put everything by themes. So here was all the sports. So I put all the sports together. I put all the sentiments together. So you have all your sentiments. Then I put together all the air things, the planes, the hot air balloons, those pieces. So I felt like there was themes that you could stick together. All the gardening stuff goes together. So that would be great for the brick wall also. All the camping, hunting, fishing, I put all those together. All the sea stuff. So I recommend going through and piecing everything together, because when I was looking at everything, I was overwhelmed. I was like, how do I narrow this down? How do I get things to go with it? Whew, I got to walk away. So I walked away and I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chunk everything out. I'm going to chop it out and I'm going to put them by themes. And I felt like it was so much easier to kind of work with by doing that. So that's kind of my suggestion, is chunk everything out, punch out all the punch outs, chunk out all the big pieces, put all the sentiments together, and then it's easier to match and design and get everything to coordinate that way, and then you have all your words together too. So that's where I suggest you guys start with when you're using the leftovers and designing your own. Okay, so that is card number 1. Card number 1, okay? Card number 2. We're going to do this guy. So my dad's a motorcycle guy, so I just had to have one with a motorcycle. So this one is card number 2, and I told you to get a white card base that is 10 by 5. 10 by 5. And then we are just going to score it in half at 5 inches. So we're going to have a square card. It's going to be 5 by 5. 5 by 5. Sandy, are you talking to me or Deanna? I don't know who got an email. Then we're going to take our wood grain. Love the wood grain. You know me. I love some good wood grains. We're going to cut it 5 by 5. So it's going to be the same size as our white. So no edging around it. 5 by 5. 5 by 5. And then, of course, I have to brown my edges. So I don't like that white core kind of showing through. So we're just going to brown our edges. And then we're just going to glue that down flat. And I like my wood grain going side by side. It's a preference. It's just a personal preference. If you want your wood grain going up and down, go for it. But I like my wood grain going side by side. I think it's more, I don't know, relaxing. Is that the word? Does that even make sense? Or is it just in my head? Could just be in my head. Okay? Yeah, right? Wood is always good. You can never have enough wood. Oh, and that's some good wood right there. Okay? So we got our wood grain on. And now we're going to dig for some more pieces in our thing. So we're going to punch out our motorcycle. That's right there. Punch out our little motorcycle. And then we're going to hunt for some pieces. We are going to hunt for the classic garage, which is right here. Our classic garage. And we are just going to slice that out. We're just going to square it up. I love using this trimmer because I can tell where it's cutting. So I can cut without cutting through images that I don't want to. So we got our classic garage. Then we also need to look for these guys. So I loved these guys. I felt like all 4 of these were a scene in itself. It like did its own little scene. So that's why I did the 3 extra cards at the end, because I felt like they all just went together. It just matched and went together. Okay. So I'm going to brown, you named it, brown the edges of these 2. I just feel like once I start browning, everything gets browned, but it just gives it, this paper kind of had a worn look to it, and it kind of just gives it that great edging to it. Gives it that great edging. I'm going to do it too to the motorcycle. That way it has a vintage look to it, and it's not so in your face white starky. And then we're going to do it to that piece too. Okay, so now we're going to do another technique. If you got the stamp set, grab the stamp set. If you did not get the stamp set, that's okay. Use what you had, or you can skip this part. But what I'm going to do is, one of the stickers said world's greatest, and I wanted it to say dad. You can have son, because on your sticker, on your stamp set, there's husband, uncle, son, granddad. You can pick out whatever you want. And I'm just going to pick it up, and I am going to randomly stamp with my brown ink pad, dad. Randomly stamping it all over the paper. No rhyme, no reason. But I wanted it to say, world's greatest dad. And I'm running it off the paper so it doesn't look too planned. And I am happy with that. Okay, world's greatest dad. I've already inked around the outside edges of it. So now we're just going to glue that guy down. And put him down. It was. Isn't that stamp set great? We've gotten a lot of comments on this Crafty Hour and on this collection. We are always on the hunt for more masculine stuff. So when we saw this, we got giddy. We got giddy because we can never find enough masculine things. So we're still on the hunt for more. Don't worry. But it just had something for everyone, every dad. If they're into sports or hunting or fishing, drinking, I mean, all that was on there. And if you didn't grab this kit, make sure to call your home store and see. We are out of the Crafty Hour kits, but we do have the individual papers and pieces available. Cindy, I think I still have the stamp set. Shoot me a Facebook message and I will double check tomorrow in the morning. Okay, so then we're just going to pop dot our motorcycle right there. Okay. And then I added the 3 gems. I'm going to leave the 3 gems off right now. You guys can add those later. And then I'm going to skip this part because I want to show you the other cards and get kind of to the other pieces. So you can cut out from your pieces. World's Greatest was on there. And then also your gems, I just added 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I love to do 3s, random here and there. You can finish it up with that. Or maybe you want it to say happy birthday, Dad, or something else. So leave your sentiment, and I just pop dotted that. Okay? All right. All right, the next ones, let me clean the brown off because we are done with brown. No more brown. We are done with the brown. Okay, there we go. So the next one, what I did was these quick 3 little cards. Remember I said I made piles? So I had cut these 3, oops, 1, 2, 3, these 3 guys out, and I felt like, man, those make just cute little scenes. Those are like perfect, aren't they? So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do quick little scenes. I thought these would be great little cards, great little note things, or, I mean, whatever you want. Just great. So we're going to do these, and that is what card 3, 4, and 5 is. So really quick little cards. So again, these are going to be 4 by 4 when they're finished. So I had to cut a piece of cardstock that was 4 by 8. 4 by 8. So I'm just going to score both of these. Actually, I'm going to score all of them really quick. So we're just making little 4 by 4. It could be a card. You could use them as a gift tag. Just a quick little note. And the first one we're going to start with is this one. We're going to start with the land and sea. So I did my white. We're going to do our gold 4 by 4. And I'm just using scrap pieces of my gold cardstock. So they're probably going to be different colors. I think some of them are mirror, some of them are, some of them are textured. So we're just going to glue down your gold cardstock, and that was in your homework to cut. Just a 4 by 4. Because I thought that gold really popped against the, and this is why I don't use the white glue and I use the Helmer. There's no wiggle room. She is down, and she is down crooked. We're going with it. No, we're not. That's driving me nuts. Back to the Helmer. I gotta have my wiggle room. So much better. Okay. We're gonna grab the one that looks like a C. The C. Okay, we're gonna grab that one. And let me measure mine and see if I cut it down. Yeah, it's going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I cut it down. 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So what I'm going to do is just cut 1/8 of an inch off each side and square it up. So what it's going to do is give me a little gold edge all the way around it, and it just makes that land and sea kind of pop, right? I just thought these were cute little like scene builders. Cute little 4 by 4 scene builders. Okay, in your punch outs are going to be all these other fun pieces. So we've got the ship. Got our ship. We've got our, there, and then we got our birds. Love the little seagulls. And our compass. So on this, I popped the boat. We're going to pop the boat. Let me find some pops. And I popped the compass. And then my birds, I put them flat because I just thought it was crazy talk to try to get foam on the back of those birds. And see how that just comes together so quickly? I just love these pieces. And as always, guys, don't forget to jump over in Crafty Our Creations, our private Facebook group for you guys. That is where you can post your creations and your interpretation of what you guys made with the kit. If you copied exactly what we did, perfect. We want to see it. If you used the scraps and made something different, awesome. We want to see that too. So this is kind of an area for you guys to share your creations. And then give each other some love and encouragement. It's all about love. We just need more kindness and love. Okay, and then I'm just gluing these birds down flat. Okay, flat birds. And then I'm going to leave the sentiment off because maybe you guys wanted something different. You have tons of sentiments that came in that kit. So that one, I just put birthday wishes. But you can put whatever you want. You have a whole pack full of those. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, again, a quick, easy one. This one. It had the forest on it. So again, I'm going to take my, and you could have it open this way. You can have it open this way. It's whatever you want. Again, we've got the 4x4 card. Oh, they are. They're happy little birds. They are happy birds in the sky. We're going to glue the gold down. And it is just, again, 4x4. It's going to be the same size as your card front. Channeling some Bob Ross there with our happy birds. Okay, and then we have our nature. I love watercolor. I love the effect. I love the look of watercolor. So I just loved this card. So again, we are going to chop it down. So it is 3 3/4. And I'm just going to kind of chop from all 4 sides and kind of make it equal. Ooh, I don't think Deanna for once has sneaked anything, has she? So tomorrow will be the next Crafty Hour. Crafty Hour number 40 goes live tomorrow. Can you believe we are on number 40? That is with 2 stores doing the Crafty Hours and classes or craft alongs. That is 80 hours of content that we have given you guys. Can you believe that? Crazy talk. So tomorrow will be Crafty Hour number 40. We will be going live at 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific. I have to stop and think of my time zones really quick. And it has a watercolor, the paper and embellies are watercolor effect. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Okay, that's all the hint you get. It's kind of a really pretty watercolor effect. We're punching this guy out. And again, we're just going to put pop dots. We're just pop dotting him on the front. And so, yeah, so make sure to tune in and sign up because we have the kits in stock at store now. So we cannot get any more. When they are gone, they are gone. It's another one of those items we stockpiled. Okay, so now we're just going to pop this guy and see how it just makes a quick, easy card. You don't have to put 100 layers to it. You don't have to fill it up. It is just a quick little 4x4 card. We're just going to pop our little embelly on there and look at that. See how easy that is? And then on this one, I'm going to leave the sentiment off because you guys can add whatever sentiment you want. But we just put on there, enjoy your special day. It could be happy birthday. It could be happy Father's Day. Thinking of you, just because, whatever you want. There are plenty of sentiments in there. So make sure to grab that. Okay. Okay, last one. I'm going to make it. By not putting the sentiments on, we're going to make it, guys. Okay, this last one, we got to do a little fuzzy cutting, but not a lot. Same thing, 4x4 card. This one I cut down a little bit because I wanted that white edge to it because I kept these guys white. So my gold this time is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I cut my gold down. I also cut it down because the cloud paper, I really wanted to go to the edge of it. I didn't like how the clouds, I didn't want the clouds to have that white edge. So I chopped all of that off. All of that got chopped off. Okay, so there is our gold. Then we're going to grab our clouds and we're going to chop it all the way off. So our clouds end up being, I think it's 3.5 by 3.5. Yes, 3.5 by 3.5 is what your clouds are going to be. So I'm just doing a quick chop and then go over here and do 3.5, 3.5. And there we go. There's our clouds. Clouds are going to go right on top, and we're going to have that gold around it now, okay? Going to have that gold. Ooh, I think I forgot to order more Helmar today. In fact, I know I forgot to order more. Dang it. Okay, I will submit another order. Okay, next, I talk to myself when I craft too. Do you guys do that too? We're looking for this guy right here. We are going to fuzzy cut this guy out. And again, just a quick fuzzy cutting. I think Deanna just chunked it out and called it. But I like the little inverted corners that were on here. And I am not a big fuzzy cutter, but I thought this is not that bad. I could handle it. I could handle this one. Okay. We are going to take our trimmer and we're going to chunk that off. So we want the life is a journey. We're going to chop that off. But save this because we are going to come back to this. So don't get rid of that. And then I am just going to chunk up the life is a journey. I'm going to cut all that red off and just kind of chop it down. Like so. And I did on this one brown the edges of it because I felt like it got, it disappeared with all the blue clouds and stuff. So I did ink the edges of it just so it doesn't disappear in the background. Okay. Perfect. How's everybody doing? Is anybody crafting along with me or is everybody watching? We have crafters or watchers. I know some people have at least gone back and rewatched Deanna's if they weren't crafting along with her, because I saw everybody posting their fabulous makes in the group today. Okay, so now we got to find the punch outs that have, uh-oh, where did my sheet go? Oh, there it is, with the airplanes on it. We're going to use the little yellow one. And again, you can still build scenes. You got this awesome lighthouse that you could put a hot air balloon in the background. There's just so much you can do. Speaking of, yeah, so much you can do with that. I will try not to squirrel. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're going to put pop dots. You know, we got to pop the planes. Gotta pop the planes. Oh, Roberta is watching. She's waiting on her kit. I can't wait for the next one with the bees. Crafty Hour 39. It has the bees on it. Oh, it is so... The colors are so rich and so pretty. If you guys have gotten your kits or had a chance to peek at it in person, the camera or our lives do not do it justice. Once you see it in person, my gosh, the colors are just phenomenal. Oh, Susan's slow going today. That's okay. Can get us on replay. Okay, there we go. There's our planes. Now this piece, we're going to take this piece, and we got life is a journey. And enjoy the flight. Enjoy the flight. So we're going to put that guy in, and we're just going to put him all the way up to the top. Oh, good. Deanna says Clipper kits are arriving tomorrow afternoon. So finally they will be there. They're on their way. We cleaned our supplier out of those kits. 3/4 had to go back into production and print more kits. We bought everything they had. We cleaned them out. So that's why there's a little bit of delay, girls. But don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to get your kits before that crafty hour. But we cleaned out everything. They couldn't believe it. They had to go back to the printers. Okay, so we have enjoy the flight. Life is a journey. All right, so that is, whoo, we got 5 done. We actually made it. Some quickie ones though, but here's our 3 little quickie cards. Like I said, it just kind of built a scene. It just kind of did its thing. Then we have our stamping a random background to kind of build your backgrounds. And then we have our embossing folder technique with the red ink pads and just doing our inky spooshy kind of stuff. That's our technical term. We're going with it. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight and crafting along with both me and Deanna. So if you didn't catch Deanna's live, remember, go to Clipper Street's page. It is posted, so you can go watch the replay. Make sure to jump on to Crafty Era Creations, and you guys post your creations. We cannot wait to see what you came up with. Even if it's the same, feel free to post them. If you swapped them up a little bit, or when you're using the scraps, we'd love to see what you have, because it inspires each other, it inspires us, and we know that you guys are having a great time. And we are going to keep doing these crafty hours as long as you guys are enjoying them and grabbing them from us. So thank you so much, everybody. Tomorrow, crafty hour number 40 will go live at 11 o'clock. Central, 9 o'clock Pacific. Deanna's already created the event, so you can click on the event. That way you get a reminder from Facebook, or if you have to catch it on replay, it'll be easier to find, and you're going to love it. So make sure to tune in. The only hint I'm giving you is it's extremely limited because we already have the kits, and it has a watercolor theme to it. It is gorgeous. You're going to love it. Yes, crafty hours starting midlife. When I said 40 today, I was like, oh, that makes me feel like it's old. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a fabulous night, and hopefully we see you tomorrow for Crafty Hour 40 reveal. Thank you, and bye-bye.